Hi folks, welcome to this week's update of the Wholly Irregular ECY Shedcast. It's lovely to have you here. Sorry to have missed last week. I realised I meant to say something and then I completely forgot, so I'm sorry about that. I was just really busy and I was so tired by Friday afternoon. So yeah, the past 2 weeks it's just been a case of keeping my head down and just dying, which might sound obvious, but there are so many other elements to my job that usually I'm doing quite a lot of other stuff as well. But the past 2 weeks it's just been all about the dying, trying to get a couple of wholesale orders out. So and the reason for the rush is because we are closed next week for our annual holiday. Now, there is a specific reason for this. It's Great Yorkshire Show next week, and excuse me, it's right on the route for Dave for work, so it's very disruptive, and it sort of spreads around the whole area. So we decided early on that we would just take the week off, which we do every year, and have a staycation. And I am using the word properly because we are actually staying at home. We're not sort of going somewhere within the UK and calling it a staycation, because that is not a staycation. So we'll have some days out, I think. We won't go far, and we'll chill out. Try not to do too many chores, although the house does need a bit of a sort out, so we'll see. But yeah, and I've got one more section of my ultra route to Recce, so I shall go and do that with Luna one day. I'll try and pick one of the cooler days for her to do that, so that'll be really good. And yeah, apart from that, hopefully we will have time to chill out and relax and recuperate. We're both very ready for it. It's been a busy year so far. So yeah, have I got much to tell you about actual Shed Quarter news? Probably not, no, because we've not had another update since last we spoke. The last one was Elderwick Lace and Keld Fingering, so I've definitely talked about that on here, and we haven't done any more since because of the wholesale orders. I did finish this though, which, as you can see, looks pretty amazing. Well, I think so. Am I allowed to say that about myself? I think it looks really cool. I love it, and it's perfect with this skirt. That's why I've put it on. Come a bit closer. Oh, too close. There you go. There you can see the back. So yeah, love it. Very cool. There is another sibling pattern to this where the top is done in a fluffy yarn, and I really fancy making that as well, and doing it in either Eldwick or Lowther Lace. Lowther Lace is the fluffy baby alpaca, which we do so that people who are allergic to mohair can still have a fluffy yarn. We haven't updated it for absolutely ages, but it's almost next on the to-do list, so that will be coming back soon. So yeah, I love it. It's so cool. Like, you know, I said a few episodes ago, really wasn't sure if it would suit me, but who cares? I just love it. I really want to make another one. It's a really fun knit as well. You do the chevrons first, so you start here above the ribbing, and you do the chevrons, which are really fun, and it's sort of like the stripes keep you going, they keep you interested, and then by the time you get to this bit, it's just quite simple stocking stitch really, so it goes really quickly, and then you're like, I'm pretty much ready to wear it, just got the ribbing to do. So yeah, very cool. Not too difficult to block either, not too difficult to pin out, so that's always helpful, isn't it? So yeah, love it. In case you missed previous episodes, the yarn is Keld Fingering. So this colourway, the grey, which actually has speckles in it, let me see if I can show you. You can just see some there. So this is called Passion Flower, and it's a sort of grey, silvery grey, with purple and pink speckles in it. And then this is a mini skein. Sorry, it's a bit windy, very windy actually. Just hope my camera doesn't blow over. This is a mini skein of a Brimham High Twist in fuchsia, and then this was a Yarnling. I think it was oak with 4-ply in Black Magic Rose, and then the main colour is back to Keld Fingering again, and this is Heathered Crags. So I don't know how well you can see it with the blazing sunshine that we've got, but it's a sort of mid charcoal grey, so not super dark, maybe an ash grey I suppose, and then the kind of heathery bit is a pinkish purplish colour, which I think has kind of like spread out really nicely, which is what I always aim for with my variegated yarns. Do you know, I can't remember how much I'm sure I went into a second skein on this, and don't tell anyone, but I didn't alternate skeins. In fact, yeah, no, I wouldn't have done, because the front and the back are done separately, but I don't think you can tell, which is cool. Wouldn't necessarily recommend that. If you can, like, if you're worried about seeing a difference between skeins, then do alternate, but I often just don't really care, so I don't bother. Like, I would if I needed to, but I just often don't. So yeah, Keld. So like one skein of the contrast colour, and then 2 of the main colour for this size. This size was the size to fit something like 48 or 46 inch bust. I'm thinking it might have actually worked better because of the drape here. It might have worked better to size down. I didn't actually measure myself before choosing my size, which was a slight mistake possibly. I think maybe the next size down might just have draped a bit better here, but does that matter? I don't know. Maybe if I make it again, I'll try it a size smaller and see. But I think I've got away with it, but maybe just should have actually bothered measuring before I chose my size. I just didn't think. I sort of assumed, you know, you assume that you're just always the same size, don't you? So yeah, just check the sizing for the quantity of yarn is why I was mentioning that, because I think some of the smaller sizes it might be 1 skein of each, and then the larger sizes might dip into 3 skeins of the main colour. But I like the idea that it's not like a huge outlay of yarn as well. Excuse me. So yeah, how cool is that? So now I just need to find an excuse to wear it. I think it might get a bit, well, not only might it get a bit warm today because it's meant to be about 27, but I don't tend to wear nice stuff for work, because obviously I'm usually like elbow deep in dye. I do wear an apron, as you've probably seen, but it's like a cotton one, it's not a shiny one, so sort of water and stuff will still get through, so wearing nice stuff for work is not ideal for me. So I think this one definitely wants keeping for best. So yeah, but hopefully maybe on my week off next week I can find a good excuse to wear it, especially with the swishy skirt. So yeah, so that's my recent finished object, and on the subject I might as well just show you what I'm on to. Well, I was on it before. I paused it whilst I was hung up with my back because I couldn't concentrate. Oh, it's really windy. I couldn't concentrate on something this complicated, so hence I did this. But I'm back on it now. loving it, and it's Kismet by Rachel Ilsley, aka Unwind Knitwear. So I'm just trying to detangle and make sure I don't drop any stitches here. And here we go. There you go. Hopefully you can see that okay. Let's just try and get that in the sun. That's it. So there you go. So the rounds are getting quite long now. So it's taking a bit longer to, you know, when you think, oh, I'll just sit and do one round, but the rounds are taking quite a bit longer now, so it's a little bit more of an investment. And if I sit down, I might not get back up, so I haven't actually done any, like, this morning. But I'm just trying to do tiny little bits here and there when I get time and when I'm not too tired. I'm not working on it when I'm tired, because I will just muck it up and have to undo, so you can tell I've learned that the hard way. And here's the back, because I know we all love to see the back of Fair Isle. There you go. So satisfying, isn't it? There's quite a lot of ends here. I'm leaving them till the, well, not necessarily till the end, but I'm just leaving them for now. I will often weave in ends as I go, and I quite often do the join, is it the Russian join, I want to say, where you loop the yarns around each other. I will often do that, but I don't think that's suitable for this. So for this, I've just left all the ends because I want to wait until I've got a decent amount of fabric on this side, so that I can see that I'm not weaving the ends in such a way that they'll show through, if that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, I'm using the increases suggested. I mean, they make one right and left, as you would expect. I'm not sure how well I do them, but I think once this is washed and the yarn has bloomed and kind of softened, I think those stitches will all kind of meld into each other anyway, and you won't be able to tell. And I think the thing with increases and decreases really, but increases particularly, is the main thing is, as long as you're consistent, however you do it, just make sure that you do it the same way each time, because then even if like you think that they're messy, they won't be, because they'll all be the same, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's my thoughts on increases. So what else have I got to tell you? I finished station 11. I genuinely couldn't put it down, like I was just carrying it around with me, trying to snatch a page here and there in between other tasks. It's been a long time since I've read a book that compelling. I absolutely loved it. It was so good. I'm now on a book called Born to Run. I can't remember the author's name because I didn't bother checking before I started doing this. It sounds like it might be really dry and boring and only for runners, but it's actually really compelling. It's very interesting. And I think even if you've only got like barely even a passing interest in running or sports, I think you would still find it interesting. So I'm maybe halfway through. Surprisingly interesting. I bought it on a whim, I think, in one of the running shops. You know, when you go into an independent shop and you're like, I want to buy something to support them, but I don't really need, don't need new trainers, I don't need this, that and the other, none of the clothing fits me because I'm plus sized, so I'll buy a book. So I bought it on a whim, and it's been in the pile for quite a long time because I didn't really know anything about it, and like I say, it sounds like it could be really dry. It's not. Turns out it's not at all. It's really interesting. So yeah, recommended. Who knows what I'll read after that. We'll see. We'll find out next week when I finish it and get to browse my stash. So yeah, that's the book update. what else? Oh God, ugh. Oh, I'll tell you what. So last weekend, I was knackered after last weekend because on Saturday morning I went for a 20-mile run, which I was really proud of. It's the most running I've ever done. Because although I've been further, there was less running on my last ultra. Whereas last weekend it was a lot of running. So I was dead proud of that. And then it was really nice because in the afternoon we then went out to Bradford, went out for dinner, and of course it was Eid weekend as well, so it was really busy, which was lovely. It was all bustling, loads of people around. It's very cool. And we went to somewhere called the Pictureville Cinema in Bradford, and it's part of the Science and Film Museum. They have a few cinema screens. They've got an IMAX as well, and they were showing Blade Runner. And of course, Dave and I are of an age where we haven't seen Blade Runner on the big screen, and we really, really love the film. So getting the opportunity to go and see it on a big screen was amazing. And with the music, if you're a fan, you'll know the music. It's just like this immersive soundscape, and then the visuals as well. It was just stunning. It was so good. It was like goosebumps for so much of it. So yeah, we saw Blade Runner on the big screen. It was great. And actually, talking of Harrison Ford, I then later this week went to see the new Indiana Jones. That's a long film, isn't it? Which is really fun. Did you know he's 81? How cool is that? I think it's great to have an action film with an older actor, because a lot of films with older actors, they're kind of like genteel and, all nice and that kind of thing. So just checking Debbie's not trying to get in yet. No, she's not, because I haven't unlocked the gate for her. No, we're good. So yeah, I think it's really cool to have an action film starring an older actor. So yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I think I can see why it's got probably mixed reviews, but I like fun films. There are very few films that I really, really, truly love. So basically, Blade Runner 2049 and Dune, I would say they are films that I really, really love. They're very immersive and cinematic. I just love them. But aside from that, I'll pretty much go and see anything that's kind of fun. So, and I will enjoy it even if it's a bit crap. Although I wouldn't say Indiana Jones was crap, but my standards might be a bit different to other people's. Anyway, it's fun, but it is quite a long film, so wear comfy clothing. So yeah, where was I? I can't remember. Just waffling on about last weekend, and Blade Runner, which is very, very cool. Yeah, so glad I've seen it. I tell you what though, if it'd been Blade Runner 2049, I'd have needed a box of tissues for that last scene. Ooh. Oh, and talking of Ryan Gosling, the Barbie film's out soon. I can't wait to go and see it. So I'll let you know what I think of it when I have seen it. I think we're going to wait for it to come to Wetherby Cinema, which is often like a couple of weeks behind. So we might be waiting. It depends whether we decide to go over to York or Harrogate to see it in one of the other cinemas. But yeah, Barbie film, it's meant to be really good. I'm excited about it. And Margot Robbie as well, she's such a great actress. She's so charismatic, so I think that's going to be loads of fun. And yeah, so quite a lot of cinema on at the moment. But because of that, it means I haven't actually got much knitting done. So yeah, that's why there's not a lot to show for my Kismet. So yeah, I'm sure I'll get a whole lot more done next week. I have also dug out, I haven't got it with me, but I have also dug out a work in progress, which is crocheted, and I started it last year and then put it to one side, actually because of the Stephen West mystery knit along, and it's really, the thing is that the crochet project is really summery, and I kind of put it down and thought I would come back to it, and of course I haven't until now. So I've dug that out. It's the Shepherd's Purse tee by The Crochet Project, and I'm making mine in Bowland lace, which is our Blueface Leicester, pure Blueface Leicester lace weight. It's quite woolly, quite light, and yeah, it'll be lovely. So I'm going to try and get back to that next week, but I need to kind of reacquaint myself with what the hell I'm doing. So yeah, I will hopefully have something of that to show you next time as well. And then finally, so I'm going to finish soon because I haven't got much more actual yarn news. Oh, I'll tell you what though, this week I've been applying to yarn shows, which is really exciting. So far, so we've got Yarndale this year in September, and then I've applied to Unravel in February in Farnham. I've applied to East Anglia Wool Festival at Norfolk Showground in March, and I've applied to, I think I've got a place definitely at the Yorkshire Yarn Festival, which is next November 2024. I can't do this year's, so that's those three. I also want to do Spring into Wool because it's at Leeds Grammar School, which is literally like 15 minutes away, so it'd be rude not to. That's in April, and it's 2 or 3 weeks before London Marathon, which I've got into on the ballot. So yeah, I'm going to be running London Marathon, which is terrifying. I know it's not the furthest I've run, but it would be the furthest on tarmac, and again it's a lot of running, so yeah, I'm gonna have to like really properly train on like roads and stuff, and I'm not gonna be able to stop for picnic every 10 miles or so, and yeah, so London Marathon. So yeah, so that's in April. So yeah, I have put a social media post out last night asking for show recommendations and like which shows you would like us to be at. So if you've replied on Facebook or Instagram, thank you, that's been really, really helpful. I'm compiling a list. I will check the dates and work out how many it's actually feasible to apply for, and yeah, I shall crack on with the show applications and hopefully see you next year in person. It's going to be a busy year, really, really busy, but just feel ready to do it. So yeah, that's that. And then okay, before I go, so today's my last day, so I'm going to finish this wholesale order, get that packed up. What time is it? Oh yeah, better finish. Get that packed up. I posted a photo of a rose, which is there in the border. Doesn't currently have any flowers on it because I need to deadhead it, but the last flower I deadheaded, I took some photos and I posted them on Instagram and Facebook and talked about doing a colourway inspired by it, so I have done. So here you go, first view. Ta-da! I hope you can see the colours okay there. So it's got dark pink speckle. Oh god, I hope you can see that. Sorry, it's really sunny. It's got dark pink speckles, and then can you see that? Dark pink speckles, and then sort of washes of pink and yellow. what I'll do is I will post some pictures of this next to the picture of the actual rose, and then you'll be able to see. But yeah, so that was fun. That's really cool. And this is Keld fingering as well, so I will ask Debbie to process the batch today. I'll try and get some pictures and I will get it up on the website as soon as possible. I've dyed a batch of 10 of this, which I haven't really been doing recently, but I thought it was worth just doing a bigger batch, and then I've got them in case it's popular, and if it's not, well, never mind. So yeah, I think that'll be really, really pretty and very summery. There you can see some of the speckles. So yeah, just enjoying life, enjoying work. It's all good. So I really need to go. So I won't see you next week because of the holiday. So I'll see you the week after, and we'll have loads of new yarn for you. We'll have all sorts. It'll be great. Sparkly yarn as well, and it sparkles beautifully in the sunshine. Gorgeous. So that's what's coming next. So I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me rambling on and on and on. It's much appreciated. Have a great week. Bye.